podcasts are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Hello. Welcome back to the Integration Station. I'm naturally Ashley, and we've got Steve here. This is the first time in a long time I've actually been sitting next to somebody to do a show, so this is pretty cool. I'm here in Connecticut with him on the Future Cannabis Project Farm, FCP Farm. If you can kind of just take over and share.
Oh, yeah, I'm out here helping. There's a property up in Connecticut, right on the border of Connecticut and Rhode Island. We're helping build out the property here. The goal is kind of make it kind of an educational center. So it's Future Cannabis Project, educational farm. We hope to be able to incorporate ceremonials, healing ceremonies of a lot of different types, kind of like a cultural retreat center as well for people to be able to come from the busy city and just relax and enjoy nature, because it's 30 acres of woodland and it's a beautiful place. So it's definitely been helping me my grounding and stuff like that. So we want to be able to make it available for others.
Yeah. We did do a nice little ceremony too, and that's what we kind of want to talk about today, is just come on here and share with you guys some of the medicines that we were working with and why and what it was like, the kind of the integration of it all, and even the integration afterwards as well. Yeah. So this was your first time working with Rappeh and really doing any medicine, like more spiritually. I guess you've been dabbling into that a little bit more, but if you can share a little bit more about that, and then I can get into the Rappeh part.
Yeah, I've experimented with psychedelics and just plant medicines my life. Started 15 with mushrooms, and it was just a very profound, wall-breaking, inspiring, and at the same time scary, because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I was a young teenager and I'd dabbled in a little bit of cocaine and drinking and smoking a little bit of weed, but nothing like the earth removing you from this earth almost with psychedelics. You know, you break through into another space, and you're allowed to see. People say, I did mushrooms and it fixed me. I don't think the substance actually fixes you. You know, it just allows you to see where your life is and how you fit into your life and what you can do to alleviate some of the problems that are going on. And I've worked with, I've done DMT and things like that, but this last experience the other day was definitely one of the more intense setting. And very powerful and profound experience. We started with Rappeh the day before, and I remember the show you did on it. It's a wonderful show, so it's been there and it's been calling me. So when I found out you're heading down here, I was excited, finally meet you. We've been talking for a while and doing shows and stuff, so we missed the connection last time you were in the States. So it was great, and the Rappeh definitely opened my eyes. I mean, it's not an intoxicant, like you're not getting high, but it clears everything and allows, like I said, the spirits to kind of come in. It allows you to see the spirits in nature. Things are a little bit more clear.
It got instantly brighter and easier to just breathe and be more present.
I could see I see auras in people sometimes, and it's like I could see the auras of all the living things around. It's just beautiful, and it's a very profound experience. So do you want to go over kind of like what Rappeh is for anybody who doesn't know?
Yeah.
And we can talk about the ones we've done. And
the reason why we were working with it first, because it's really good for just opening up ceremony, opening up a space, and connecting with the spirits, or whatever energies it is that you want to connect with, because energy is there whether you like it or not. Everything's made of it ourselves, so why not use that? A lot of people pay for it in electric cars and electric anything. So why not use the energy that's there, that is still free, that we're allowed to use right now, and still can have the freedom to use. And so the way I see it is, when ever anybody has passed on, whether it's some guru, master, teacher, or just a loved one in general, that energy is still here. And at any time we can tap into it. And traditionally that would be done through tobacco. You can also do that through other kinds of smoke and smudging ceremonies, so using things like cedar or sage or palo santo, or we've been using copal lately. So any kind of incense or smoke can open up, but tobacco used in a Rappeh, that is also a different kind of way of allowing the energy in, because you're not just allowing it in to your energetic field to work energy, you're allowing it into your body. And so it's really important to set that kind of intention that you want only good around, and to also allow whatever energies are there that you're calling forth to be good and to guide you with love, essentially. So we worked with we got this
it's like
opening
now. Yeah absolutely.
Palo is so nice.
It really is. I really enjoyed the sap that you brought as well.
Yeah, that's the copal. That was a new gift, and this was the perfect place to use it. This is this background is nothing compared to what this property is, you guys. Like, it's so special. All right.
Beautiful place.
So this one is a Rappeh that was gifted to me from somebody who had just visited Colombia for a coca training and brought this back because they were all working with it, and she wasn't getting called to the Rappeh, so she just gifted it all out. So I'm not sure what tribe it came from, but we've been working with it, and it's quite nice. It's very
a little bit more. I don't want to call it stronger, but it feels more. I feel that one a lot more than
the ash one's more feminine. This one for sure, and it's ash for Ashley. But
this is really cool. The applicator.
Yeah, the curate. That was a gift from Matz's Herbs, so I had ordered from them, and I guess I had ordered so much Rappeh, they actually just gifted it to me. But sometimes you have to wait a while for those kind of orders too, so I think they take that into consideration. So you can love them up and share them as I just did. This is the ash. We also have the cinnamon, a master, and a nawa, and the DMTs, which we worked with. So we did use the Rappeh to open up ceremony, and just I kind of cleanse the area, cleanse our bodies, and tune into the present moment so that we could work with DMT. And we had two different kinds because we were both gifted some. And NN-DMT is from Mimosa hostilis, which is a really beautiful flower, and when you powderize it, it's really nice pink. And he's got a friend who made some through one process.
So that is the one that my buddy made, and you can tell the difference. And
and this one,
it's more of a pink color,
almost like Himalayan salt. Yeah, it does. Smell different. I didn't get to taste the difference.
This one's much more sharper on the taste.
Oh, it does smell good now, though, because now that I worked with it.
He's calling you again.
Isn't that funny? It's like, oh, my body remembers that.
I think, I mean, there was a little bit of trepidation going into it, and I fought the first one for sure. But to no avail. It's still so much sweeter. But it gives me this still like.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So, but the differences were astounding to me. And you got both, kind of, you know, because you went after me and I'd already done the two. And so I tried this one first, and like I said, I fought it. You know, I was fighting it, but it was so much more natural and organic feeling. Much more feminine, I guess, like Mother Nature, and like the fractal patterns of kind of the Aztecish always kind of come up when it goes to that. It was just beautiful. And when I came to from outside of DMT land to back to this realm, it was still there. There was still a veil, and I could see the veil. And it was a very beautiful organic veil, as opposed to this one. I probably did twice as much as the original. And this is, I think, just a little bit broken down a little bit more. That's why the color's different, or something we can study further, you know, for sure. I'm interested to know why as well.
It could have just been a different process. It could be, a whole bunch of different things.
But it definitely, it
was hard.
Grabbed hold, for sure. And
we kind of planned that, though, to do it in that order for a reason, just like intuitively. We're like, this one might be a little more feminine start, and that one might be better for that willpower.
Like I was fully okay, you know what I mean, with the first one. And the second one, like, well, it's funny what like came into ours from the property. Like I saw this caterpillar before the second one, and that, like, I didn't know if it was poisonous or not, or it was an irritant, or it's a beautiful but formidable looking caterpillar.
Ferocious and definitely venomous.
Right? Like that.
No, I'm just kidding. It was like honestly the cutest white caterpillar, but you know, it could have.
But in that vulnerability of that state, you know,
that's the thing. It's like
you have to be able to fully trust, because I mean, I'm not inside my faculties at that point. I am in DMT realm, and the slightest things, the blade of grass on my arm, I don't know what it is, and you're getting, you know. And so luckily she was there, and she was able to get it off of me. I guess I asked her to get it off of me, and
he was so thankful. But here, this is the thing. Like, you go through so much in those experiences, but these are like the parts that you kind of remember because it brings out the cosmic giggle. Like, we had saw that caterpillar before, even though it wasn't on you in that moment. It's like it was just like there was so much presence and things. Like it's I don't know, a crazy experience.
And you have to ultimately let go, you know, because you know you're in that realm. You know that you're not going to be able to get out of it. You're not going to be able to protect yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, you just have to let go. It forces you to let go, you know, and that's exactly what happened. And luckily, when she was helping me and embraced it, and it was a warm embrace of, it felt like the womb of the universe, you know, like it was a very comforting thing, and it was a beautiful experience. And I broke down and sobbed and probably had a pound of snot in my beard, and it was just a really beautiful thing. And
once you let go of the fear, right? It's who cares that the fear manifested as the fluffiest, weightiest caterpillar that there could be, but you let it go, and then
what that fear brings on, you know, it's
so
like
much.
Okay, the fear's here. What else is there to fear?
Yeah,
and that's when the police paranoia came in, and you know, I mean, that just
you
played me
through it
life.
all, though.
Yeah. And thinking that the neighbors are like came in, were like, "What the hell's going on over here?" You know, and call the cops. So there
aren't really much neighbors or anything.
They're very far away. You know what I mean? But
it's definitely just facing the fear, which is, you know, a lot of people might say that's a bad trip. But what is a bad trip? That's not a bad trip. That was therapy. Like, you face every single thing.
It's not that I didn't know it was going to come on. Like, you know, it's that's why when you start lighting it, you're like, oh, there ain't no turning back now, you know. Even with like the first one, and at a much smaller dose, it was still I left this realm, you know, I went to the realm. I didn't fully break through, you know, to the quote unquote ego death, but it was, I was in the realms, and the fear was there, but not nearly as crippling, you know. And those are what things kind of come up as well in strong mushroom doses or LSD or anything like that. And what's really cool to me is how close the molecules of DMT and psilocybin are. And shout out to Sacred 3 Mushrooms. Big love to that guy. Big love and respect. And he's the one who's been really pushing me to grow. And same with Green Table Gardens and the Gorilla Wizards we actually ate that morning.
Yeah.
We
had microdose too,
Yeah.
as part of the opening.
Yeah, and so
And
it was only like a
right.
0.25, you know, but just the synchronicity of that flowing through the body and the DMT being able to recognize its close cousin was a beautiful thing. And it kind of helped. It had longer legs to me.
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah,
this
you
time.
said it immediately.
Yeah, like it definitely felt like it had longer legs to the DMT experience, which is nice.
And each time it's like you go in and out, and you know.
Yeah, so the second time I came out, I was out of the realm. And I think that's when I collapsed down, is when I was like, oh, nope, I'm not, you know, like got sucked right back in. It wasn't done working with me. And it's a beautiful thing.
It really is. They're amazing medicines, all of it.
And it coming from nature. It's not coming from...
yeah, this is a plant, a beautiful flower. And you've been investigating flowers and saving wildflower seeds and things that you see too. So that's kind of been, a calling to that medicine too. You know, those are the kind of signs to look for when you're meant to work with a medicine. You don't have to ever go out of your way for it. I've never had to go really out of my way for any of it. It comes. Yeah.
It really does. And you know, depending how it comes is dependent on your life, how your lifestyle at that point, right? Are you willing to even be able to accept it? You know, like my parents were just here.
Yeah.
They could have had it, but they weren't able to, you know, accept it and be in the place for it, which is absolutely okay, because the integration work, right? Like they had to be able to integrate to be able to get to that spot. And so that comes with...
And the airport is not where you want to be to do the integration work either.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So
I did that after Campbell one time. I ended up at the airport trying to go to sleep. I definitely looked homeless, and it was like I was miserable too. Like,
do you want to? Maybe we can do a Rappeh demonstration.
So this one's a more feminine, and this one's definitely more ass-kicking masculine.
All right.
If we want to try the new ones, or we could go with Cindy, or I call it the Cindy one, because when we were gifted these, CI was cinnamon and A was for ash, because this one's made out of ashes, that one's cinnamon, but it's ash and cinnamon.
I like cinnamon.
Let's do the cinnamon one, and then we will, save those ones for another time.
Yes.
But eventually you'll try them all before we get out.
The master will be for the next DMT.
Yes.
For sure.
And I do still want to practice it with the peace pipe.
Yes, that'd be great. Nice. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a nice one just for connecting with that DMT spirit, the spirit of the medicine anyway. Same reason why I actually got the plant to start working with. It's sitting in my apothecary, not on this trip with me, but I am looking forward to just connecting in that way.
So there's an applicator and what would you call the part you blow in it? Which one do I put in it?
I feel like you're setting me up for failure on that. What do you call the part that you blow in?
Oh, jeez. Which hole do I stick it in? Is that better?
No. Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna blow into this end if you want me to apply for you. Normally, you're not supposed to apply with these because this is like a single person, but it is really hard to get the hang of it because like you have to hold your breath and blow at the same time. So it's kind of like doing the monkey thing.
I'm not very good at that either. So
me either. I was definitely just messing it up there.
Do you want to go first, or do you want to show them how you open it up with me with the hand and setting the intention?
Yeah, I forgot when we were opening this up, we were going to open up with Rappeh and a meditation. I was so nervous getting onto this show because I never go live. And I'm like, I got to make a thumbnail, this, that. I'm like on the
we
dot.
Went for a walk and things. Yeah, we didn't know what time it was. So
yeah.
It can, I'll put it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to, what you do on one side, you have to do to the other. So we're going to need another one ready to go.
All right. I don't know why I thought I put enough in for both.
You probably did, but it doesn't count.
It doesn't
now
count.
You're getting a double.
Oops.
Oh, that's okay. I'll do it. That one's for the tobacco spirits. All right. So you're gonna hold your breath and you're gonna bring it to your nose when you're ready. I got some of that one too.
It really just clears the ability to receive thought and awareness and intention and a lot of things. It's very nice. I definitely thought it was going to be something completely different the first time. I've used tobacco kind of my whole life, except for I quit in 2016. So it's very much an irritant to me, smoking wise. So that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the smell of cigarettes is nothing like this.
Right. Like, and it just kind of clears. I'm not tearing up nearly as bad as I usually do, but I think that's just because we've been working so much and I've been sweating out a lot as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
All integration, but this is, I was telling Steve too, it's almost like every day is ceremony. So you can really open up your day with these. It's like opening up your heart every single day. And, isn't that kind of what we want when we're doing any of this work? We don't always come from like the best upbringing. Most people have a lot of trauma. It's like if you could just every single day be 1% closer to love and 1% closer to opening up your heart or whatever. It's like, these can all be great tools for that. And it's very subtle. Like you have to, it doesn't always have to be subtle. Sometimes you feel it. The one day you're like, oh, I think I did it wrong because I you had swallowed it. It's not always comfortable. I was coughing the other one, So, but it is also, it's a good one to understand the art of subtle because it's not as extreme as other
I'm excited
medicines.
To be able to close loop it, grow the tobacco and then seed the tobacco and then grow that seeded tobacco, be able to make my own, and then I can add in, have different ones, for different uses. And it's a beautiful thing. And if I'm occupying my time with something like this, it's much more beneficial than scrolling or, that was a big thing that's came up the last, while we've been working, is how you've helped me with that, how I'm devoting my time and energy, and that's been huge, honestly. So I'm looking forward to
that integration work, right? It's like, it's not just about the medicine, it's about what you do afterwards. I'm definitely so stoned right now. Like I look like a Chinese person this whole episode.
Do you want the cinnamon?
Yeah. I've been working with your medicine.
Yeah.
And
it's and I normally consume hash.
But it's not like
form.
old school.
Yeah, it's
hash.
in the rosin form. It's pressed resin head, so it's a very powerful medicine. It helps with my ADD, just the whole process and stuff of it. And it can be a very intense experience for some people that are just used to
flour and old school hash.
Old school traditional style hash and stuff. So yeah.
You want to work it for me?
Yeah.
I gotta get one of the real ones.
I've seen so many cool ones, so.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm doing here. I want it to go in Buddha position.
You can. You want to?
It's not easy in this chair.
No.
This is the thing. It's never the same on camera. But I'm so glad to share it with everybody who's watching.
All right. And we'll get this up on Psychonuts.
Yeah, I tagged them. So I think we're live on there too. I don't know.
It didn't go through. We'll be done.
Okay. Oh.
I was going to do it when you're ready. You put up your nose or?
Yeah, okay. Oh. Sometimes I forget. I could have sat with that.
I was supposed to do that.
I could have sat with that. I have it over here. I didn't even give you the opportunity. I was going to do it myself, and then I thought this would balance things out. Thanks for being a November participant.
Yes. You ready?
Yeah, cinnamon is really nice.
It's nice,
I don't
yeah.
work with that one enough.
Cindy,
if you're watching, we're liking the Cindy. These were gifts from Steve on the West Coast, our other friend Steve. And he's been working with different indigenous tribes over there, and they're making Rappeh. So shout out to that guy too. And we've got some of his products, the Scoobies as well, which we're
very nice.
Yeah.
I've been using this mushroom tincture a lot too, which has been very nice. It's a 4-way tincture, reishi, cordyceps, lion's mane, and
even the screen got brighter, right? Or is that just me?
Yeah, it did. I'm able to see it better.
I don't know.
But it is it allows you to see things for its natural purpose.
Yeah,
I think so. It's a beautiful thing for sure.
It is, and for my ceremony with DMT, which we did after the Rappeh, after microdosing, was that I took some of what was in the pipe already from your mixture, and I added in one part his and one part.
Oh man, not even.
Yeah.
The next one.
But I wanted to kind of stick with our angel number 3 that we've kind of been working with, the Trinity. So I thought that was a good way of kind of mixing it up. And I'm going to go to just a commercial break here, share our sponsors. And then when we come back, I'll get into what that was like, and we'll continue along this journey of working with these medicines.
Absolutely.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBGTV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
PACE Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have two lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with, and then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so my DMT experience. I didn't know how that was going to go. Normally, I'll be honest, I don't often work with medicines with other people, because when I was younger working with this stuff and, alcohol and anything else recreationally, it didn't always end so well. So when I made it a sacred thing, I really made it a sacred thing. I'll trips it with people, but I'm normally working with a smaller dose. And when I was previous to Finn, when I would work with the bigger doses, was, different roles. So this was like a full surrender anyway. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to do this right now. But I got myself right and grounded. And right before the ceremony, I put my hand down and I found one of these worms that are actually like snake worms. And if you disturb the ground, they come up and they move like snakes, and they're very invasive, and it scared the hell out of me.
It came right up on the mat.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Yeah, this is right. It's a worm too. Mm-hmm. It might be bait later on, but
at that moment.
But in that moment, it was a great fear. So through my experience as well, I was conquering the fear of, being vulnerable with somebody else in that space with me. DMT is not something that you really want to be doing alone anyway. And oftentimes, like if I am going to be working with somebody, it's like actual shaman and things, this is a different kind of situation, but the setting so beautiful, everything really was what it was meant to be. So I had to work through that fear. I had to work through the fear of this invasive really snake thing too. I don't know what they're called. Worm snakes.
I think it's like I don't know. I'll find out the actual name, but they have like a white underbelly, kind of. It's a lighter color, so they move like a snake. Like
Yeah. So when I went in for, I think it was the first experience, I ended up seeing a cat and also a snake, and the snake was actually we had a cat in our surroundings, in our real environment. I didn't really notice at the time, but when it came into my experience, it was actually protecting me from the snake. And it was so Aztec-y and old school, and I didn't quite know what it meant. I still don't know now, but it gave me this sense that I was protected, like I didn't have to worry, like I could let go. It was definitely a good experience to have before I did the next experience, because I needed to face those fears and I needed to know that I was protected, and it was like old school protection. Like this wasn't anything that I even needed to fully know and understand. It's just the feeling was there, and it was enough to go into the next experience, which was more about letting go. Like I did the same thing. I used what was left over instead of burning it out. And I don't know if that's good or bad. So like anybody, please share that information with us. I could definitely be open. Anybody who's really big into the NN space.
Because we did use the traditional like oil burner glass piece.
Yeah.
That,
a gift from Cindy, actually. She gifted to me.
Nice. It was beautiful. So.
Yeah, East Coast gifts. We're like, I should have my East Coast Stoner shirt on right now.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so we used that pipe. I used the leftovers, and then I did again like a spoonful of each of our DMTs, and I just had it as a mix. And that time it was really kind of telling me that it's time to let go, but it's not just letting go of like in the general sense, because what does let go mean? It was more about that there was emotions that were inside that needed to be let go, and that it was the emotion that was attached to different things. Like I had this sense that I was going to go into deeper work, but also that it was more safe to do so, and also that it was all really tied to emotions, which is really good for doing any kind of work anyway, having that awareness. Like now I know it is like more of an emotional type of purge than say like a physical thing in my body or whatever. Like I can use physical tools in the integration space to help get the emotions out, but I knew I was gifted that piece of information, that word to kind of help. Do you remember anything else that I shared about that experience?
I remember you telling like the comfort of the cat, like it was actually the cat tail, right?
Yeah,
kind of like curled around
and
you,
I felt
you.
Sundance at one point in time too. And when your dog Harley came in at one point, like the entire atmosphere changed. I felt like there was a whole like paradigm shift. I remember when
that's where I kind of like, definitely letting go of all those fears, because they just compound and they become overwhelming. And that's kind of where like the death comes, because like, that's what kind of fear is like, right? Your fear of death, or at least for me, that was coming up, and just everything I'd been through in life. And I think the biggest thing that came up, remember, was the realization that I appreciate my freedom.
Yeah.
That was big. I haven't said that in a long time. The last year has been pretty, hard. It was just a hard year, you know what I mean? So sometimes for people like me, being in an institutionalized setting, which I've been in most of my life, and I just did some time in prison and stuff like that. And so I was just having like these thoughts like, damn, like life was easier locked up. I was happier locked up and all these other things. And I wasn't appreciating my freedom and my moment to moment freedoms, and how much and how fast it can all go away, And so that was really beautiful, because I haven't said that in a long time. So to be able to say that and be able to actually feel it in my soul, it was definitely a turning point for sure.
Yeah, because when we first got here, you were like, jail is something that I kind of missed because there was different types of structures, but you really faced it when you faced the fear of maybe there's a helicopter up there that is looking for me or something like that. It's like facing that fear opened you up to this,
Because there was a helicopter earlier in the day, so that came back. And then what was really cool was, I think it was
it's a lot like dreaming, isn't it?
Yeah, so the first one, the eagle was flying.
Yeah.
And so when I came to, it was, and I was still at the veil, you know what I mean? So it was soaring through the cosmic, and like you said, like the Aztec. And it was funny because you said that, because like mine was like a snake head that had two tails, and it was wrapping around like the DNA kind of sequence. And that was the one that was going into everything, and turn anything it touched, it went into the just fractal kind of pattern of it. And it was a beautiful thing. It really was. That was very comforting. That was a very kind of more so of a comforting one, as it was guiding me, as opposed to the second one, which was just like, no, kicking you right in the dick. You're coming with me. Doesn't matter what you try to do. You're here.
Yeah.
Type deal,
You chose this.
Yeah. You're the one that kept on scooping.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. It's a beautiful thing. What about for you?
Yeah, well, a big piece that keeps coming up is the self-love piece, and it's in general, like a lot of this work that I've been doing, like even with the traveling or whatever, it's all like, it's not, a lot of people think, oh, you're like running from something. No, I'm like literally trying to find myself, my home, my everything. And twice in this last year, because I like been dealing with a lot of grief and stuff too. And twice in this last year, I had bottles of tequila have showed up for me. And after the first trip, I was told, like, why are you like holding on to that? Like, that's a stupid thing to hold on to. You don't even drink. And I literally was driving with a bottle of tequila because it was like a pretty decent sized bottle for free. I just like found it. Why is the universe just like passing it to me? I love my life. So why is it testing me with that? But it's because I made a commitment to myself when I quit drinking in 2014 that if I was going to have a drink, it wasn't going to be because I need tequila to kill the pain. And it wasn't going to be because I needed something to like celebrate and make something better. It had to be because I wanted to, and it was just a joyous. But, I went to my brother's wedding, a time when I could have done that, and I chose not to drink either. I had kombucha in a wine glass, and I loved it. It's so much better. And I was dehydrated from dancing so hard that like if I had alcohol, there's no way I could have done it. But, that was another thing that came through, was life challenging me in this way. And it told me just like, let it go. If life's passing you a test, like you don't, or like, you're being tested, you don't hold on to that test. You don't hold on to any of it. You just move on with your present moment. There's like, if there is a multi-dimensional thing, then much like when everything kind of shifted when you were in your experience, I know like it felt it energetically, but I like actually like saw it, and it's like, so you get into these different paradigms. If it's like multi-layered and you're making decisions, you're changing your dimension in this physical world every single time. That's why when you're working with these medicines, things can be a little bit brighter, or, things change our bodies, our chemistries, it all. Yeah.
Become innately aware of it all.
Yeah. Like the chainsaw.
Yes, that is a...
working with any tool. There's a lesson, a disclaimer.
Yeah, absolutely. We did some tree work, and first time cutting down a large tree and using chainsaws like that. So, yeah, you're definitely aware of your body parts and where they're at. And
yeah. And the psychedelics do that. Like they show us like what's going on with our bodies in a different way. You're working with a tool like psychedelics, you're going to have a different kind of self-awareness about what's going on with your inner chemistry. Whereas, you're working with a new tool like a chainsaw, you're very aware of every appendage.
Especially once it comes through a tree and right next to your leg or something, like, all right, well, now I know I got to stand different, and you adjust, you integrate it, right?
That's the integration. That's the best metaphor. Yeah. If anybody needs to take anything from this, that's what you take out of it.
Absolutely.
How's the integration been going?
It's been good. My parents were just up here. They were here yesterday, came and visited from Alabama, and it was a pretty good experience. We've had some not the best communication through our lives. We're very different, but similar. I get a lot of my dad, as I'm sure from you talking to him and stuff. Him and I share a lot of those traits, overactive mind, stuff like that. And then you can see where I get, my softness from my mother. She's a very nurturing woman. And so I was able to integrate the experience from that we've been doing the last couple of days into just being able to spend time and holding space with them in a different light than how we usually do. And I think it was good for everybody.
Yeah. And it had been a while since you had all seen each other too. So I'm sure it was for everybody very like cleansing and renewing. And that's part of what letting go is too. It's like coming back to the present. You don't have to carry everything. It doesn't all have to stay. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to breathe into this like present moment and be like really here. And it's okay to dream of a future. I remember like we were talking a little bit about like in the past having those moments of like just wanting it to be over. And, it's now I feel like I would be ripped off if like something happened. I'm like at peace with, okay, it's going to be a long life now. So I need to keep my body in as good shape as possible so that I can have a better quality of life. That doesn't mean I'm perfect or like actually follow any like specific thing. I'm like so far from a schedule. He's talking about jail and routine and schedules, and that's something like, so I'm like, oh my God.
That's how, I mean, like I've been in a lot of detoxes, rehabs, jails. It's just, you get used to these scheduled times. And a lot of the harder times I've had in my life is when I was alone and having to be accountable for myself. I like to put all my problems aside and fix everybody else's. And so when I'm just left alone, I'm not doing that for myself, and that was another thing that kind of came through for sure was just the need for that in my life and accepting where I am for sure.
Yeah, it's a good place for healing. I highly recommend the Future Cannabis Project Farm, FCP Farm.
Yeah, for sure. If you're on the East Coast, traveling up the coast, please contact. Feel free to come through. It's a beautiful place. So
yeah. I'll be back for ceremonies.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see if the winds blow you down on your travels down to Florida through Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's meant to be, that'd be cool. Because I know my mom, she's been wanting to, but she just needs somebody that she can trust. So
yeah. It's nice that they're open. I remember going through that with my parents too, because my mom was really anti-cannabis, and her parents too were like anti all of that kind of stuff, even though they had like their things, alcohol in our family, like so normalized, cigarettes so normalized. But when it came to cannabis, like that's going to fry your brains. It was like there's so much propaganda in those days, and they definitely got their heads full of it. But now my mom's like one of the biggest cannabis activists out there, but it took her a long time to come around. And I remember that transition. I remember, the battle, and then I remember through the transition, and then like to now where, she's exploring with even NN-DMT. She worked with me on the beach doing that earlier this year. And she's tried with mushrooms, but she has still a hard time with them. So.
And that's a good thing about DMT is it's a lot shorter of a experience than a 6 to 8 hour mushroom trip. And that can, depending on, my body is a vessel. And so I like to equate taking a hero dose of mushrooms or LSD as going on a cross country trip in a car. And the vessel is my car. If I'm not taking care of my fluids, you know what I mean? My engine's going to overheat. My tires might pop. I might go out of alignment. There's just so many different things. And so you tune your vehicle before you go. And I've been kind of trying to do that lately because I know I've been being called to do some psychedelic work. But setting so important. Where I was at in Chicago was such a negative place.
You'd probably be, if you purged in a place like that, what would happen is there'd be so much room for other stuff to come in. You really need to have a team, make sure everything's being cleansed. Same with having children around too. Is really important to keep things cleansed because they're so susceptible.
Absolutely, because anything can happen within that time, and if you're having a chaotic living space, chaos can happen, right? So if you have a nice setting, you know the child's taken care of, he has everything he needs. If anything comes up, that need will be taken care of at that time and able to be taken care of at that time. So
and when you're cleansing a space, like what happens when you empty something? Like if we were to take everything out here and move it outside, it's like something else would be coming in this space.
Well, it's like we went outside to nature, right? But nature came into our space during that, the worm, the caterpillar, you know? So it's like we had that safety net of the yoga mat, you know, but
different things to consider. Sure. We're at about time now, though, guys. I really want to thank you all for being here. Yeah, we're keep this in your little libraries. We'll link any kind of things that you need in there because we're on like all kinds of different things. Like I got the list from the producer finally because we're all kind of like new, bringing all of this stuff together, even with Psychonauts TV, but also with Pace Radio and CBG TV. Like we are a team, but everybody works for free and has other stuff going on. So like it takes a while to get everything really going, but we've got the list now, and some of the places that we are is like iHeartRadio and Spotify. So I'm starting to get those links more out, and we're also Psychonauts TV. Not all the time do they let me air on my own YouTube channel, so Psychonauts TV is where you want to find me on YouTube now. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Peace and love, everybody.
Yes. Oh, where is my clothes?
Boom.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
We are people who are smoking some hashish.
We'll close the show with a nice dab. Got a beautiful rig from Hugh Made That right outside of Chicago, Illinois. He's a wonderful new glass blower. He's been crafting glass for, I think, like 4 years. So for him to be at the stage that he's at now is wonderful. And I like being able to support artists. I'm an artist myself and love different mediums. And glass has definitely called to me. And this is just a beautiful example of some work. And so, yeah, we will get some hash ready. Sticker residue.
This is really cool too. I hope I can lift it up.
Yeah.
This was 3D printed. How cool is that?
Really
I didn't
cool.
even know that
yeah.
plastic could look like that. That's what you want to look up on Instagram right there. 71DPO. I won't tell you what it means. So spoil the surprise. You got to ask him yourself.
Yeah, you can slide in the DMs and ask. It's pretty funny. But it's close to whatever you guys are thinking, I'm sure. All right, we got the heat gun is IR thermometer. Yes, ma'am.
It's a really complex way of...
You don't want to heat it up too much or it'll burn it. And ready?
But how freaking cool. Like, that's trippy as it is. I don't even need to do anything.
That's the marble I made.
Beautiful.
Very cool. All right, here you go.
I'm with you though. Like the glass work is beautiful. The details of that, it has to be ritual. You have to do certain things. That's a lot of time to set intention to.
It's not.
The glass work is beautiful. I love that bead. I like trip out over that the whole time.
Yeah, they're beautiful things. Shout out Skunk Ape Glassworks.
I'm definitely a baby though. My lungs could not take all of that. I'd be coughing.
No problem. No problem. Down goes the light.
Yeah, I know, like old school hash.
Yeah, you brought some.
Sticky fingers.
Yeah, you know, the traditional black hash of collecting the resin heads. And
I'm learning though, like even you explaining it to your parents how to see you extract it, even though I know it was like awkward conversation because you're like, but there's a lot of detail that goes into even the way that you grow your weed. You're making all your own ferments and things for it. Make sure all of the nutrition's down. Oh, you burned yourself?
Yeah.
And be careful, happen. Disclaimer.
Yeah, I mean, you're using torches and there's hot glass and use isopropyl alcohol to clean it. So that's highly flammable, you know. There's shout out Press Club. They're helping make my life easier by helping me with some of those shows. I do a hash show on Future Cannabis Project 2. I'm actually doing one tonight, so if anybody wants to check it out, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be with Organotron, so that'll be really fun.
Yeah. So who's that? Organotron.
Organotron is a gentleman out of Michigan. He likes sun-grown, or at least partially sun-grown with like greenhouses and stuff like that. You know, definitely
like
gives
what
it
you're doing here.
Yeah, gives the best expression. And not only that, he's fully organic. He's regenerative driven. They just moved on to a farm. Him and his girlfriend got married this last year. And so they're really transforming the farm and utilizing it to their fullest. And it's a beautiful thing watching the process. So we're going to be able to talk about all that. He was talking about how sun-grown does express better way before it was cool. It was kind of like the cool new thing now to put on a label. Like people are putting sun-grown. It's not even sun-grown, you know, like.
Yeah, but they do that with our food. If you can see that with the cannabis, you know what they've been doing all these years with our food and everything else. So, you know, there's a gift in it, but it does suck. Like, you know, for people who got that Heyoka spirit, it's like we want to call that shit out immediately.
Yeah. And like you helped me realize it's what I'm doing with my time. I don't have to call every single person out.
No, you gotta like channel it into like a stand-up comedy skit later that gets you the views and followers, and and
that would be nice.
Then like eventually like reach those other bigger goals with the farm and with everything else you guys do, because it deserves to be seen like these methods, and it can go beyond just the cannabis, and it does, because the plants that you're growing aren't just the psychedelic garden parts. It's
we got
all kinds of stuff.
We're putting fruit trees in, nut trees, things like that. We're trying to make a food forest, if you will, parts of the property. They're going to clear 2 acres for an orchard. That's going to be really nice. But we just got a plum tree in yesterday. So we got plum tree.
They deliver that stuff right to your door. I didn't know. I'm so old school.
Yeah.
But,
so
all right, you guys. Peace. Bye.